Fox Carolina's Amber+worthy joins us live in Greenville County now, outside the Phyllis Wheatley Center.
And Amber, how are things looking out there? We don't see a line wrapped around the building, but what have you been seeing throughout the day?
Yes, so I was here early just checking out some things, and people say that earlier today, this morning, quite early, people were here just lined up into the parking lot. But of course, because of that steady flow of high absentee voter numbers, that turnout has made it a breeze for many voters today. And this is a historically black neighborhood. Both President Trump and Joe Biden have plans to cater to black America. For President Trump, it's the Platinum Plan, and for Joe Biden, it's the Lift Every Voice Plan for black America. I spoke with one voter who works at this center and is headed to his polling place, and he spoke about the significance of this location for this community.
Very important that Phyllis Wheatley be here for the community, as well as the community being here to vote and express their voice.
There's a steady flow of people who have qualified to vote from their vehicle if they are physically unable to walk inside. But of course, we've been talking about just people getting out to vote before Election Day. But in previous years, you were urged to vote on Election Day. But as we've seen, many people have cast their ballot before today and are waiting at home for those results. Of course, in the next half hour, you will hear from more voters, specifically one woman who's voting in her first presidential election today. Reporting live in Greenville County, Amber+worthy for Fox Carolina News.
Amber, were you able to get a sense of how voters are feeling today? Are they excited? Are they nervous? Are they just, ready for the election to be over and done with? What is the vibe out there, I suppose, in Greenville?
Honestly, people have been excited. I was seeing many people thanking each other for showing up here today, thanking those poll workers, and just happy to be here. Myself, I'm very excited, so I want to say that energy might be contagious for others. So many people are just excited to be here, Tori.
Good.
All right, Amber, thanks so much. And of course, we have, and Amber, something we really haven't talked about. We've talked about long lines, but there's also been a sense that maybe some of the lines won't be as long because we had 1.2 million absentee ballots and in-person ballots placed, and that's double what we saw in 2016. So some folks say the lines might not be as long at some polling places because of that record number in early voting.
Yes, many shared with me that this morning when they expected for there to be dozens waiting, it was maybe a dozen waiting, and they got in and out in 15 or 20 minutes, and that was shocking for them because historically that's when the wait has been on Election Day. But of course, we've seen people waiting for hours in early voting. Now, this is a historically black neighborhood where both President Trump and Joe Biden have plans to cater to black America. For President Trump, it's the Platinum Plan, and for Joe Biden, it's that Lift Every Voice Plan for black America. I spoke with one voter who today was her first time getting to vote in a presidential election, so she says that she's just excited to be able to cast her ballot.
Definitely think that this year you're going to see a lot of more young voters, which is very exciting because we are the next generation to carry on in this nation. So I think that's very important.
And earlier we saw cars lined up, and people were actually able to vote from their car if they weren't physically able to get out of their car to vote. So they have been just showing up and voting however they can. And the woman in that interview had a shirt on that said, "Vote like your life depends on it." And she says that she definitely is doing that this year. Back to you guys.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Amber, and as that woman who you interviewed mentioned, she's excited to vote her first election. We're seeing so many young people. I'm curious as to what you're seeing out there today. A good mix in age, or are you seeing, more of that younger vote come out in person?
I think because we're here during the day, it was mostly people who don't work or are retired. And so we're seeing some older voters so far since we've been here. But of course, like you said, a lot of young people will be getting off work and coming to vote. And she definitely expects that. She's a freshman at Furman, and she says that her friends have planned to either vote tonight or just make sure that they had already casted their ballot. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, Amber, thanks so much. We'll see you back here in a couple of minutes.